one of the greatest movie stars in Hollywood history, has passed away. The title "Hollywood doesn't give lightly" is no longer given to Elizabeth Taylor, the legendary actress with radiant beauty and extraordinary talent who became an irreplaceable icon of Hollywood. Her captivating violet eyes, commanding on-screen presence, and stunning beauty won over millions of fans. But beneath the glittering glamour and accolades was a life full of upheavals, including constant health issues, personal tragedies, and love upheavals. Bright lights of the stage, but also battled through broken marriages, serious health problems, and a barrage of public scrutiny. Despite her brilliant career and radiant exterior, Elizabeth Taylor suffered from wounds that few could fully understand. Many years after her death, her deeply moving story continues to astound the public as hidden facets of her life slowly surface. What secrets lie behind that glamorous facade? Let's take a journey through Elizabeth Taylor's hardships. Where her brilliance on the silver screen was Elizabeth Taylor was born on February 27, 1932, in the Hampstead-de-Garden suburb of London, England. She grew up in a wealthy American family with strong ties to the arts. Her father, Francis Len Taylor, was a successful art dealer who owned a renowned art gallery in London. Her mother, Sarah Sue, was a former stage actress who gave up her acting career after marriage to focus on raising her family. This had a significant impact on when World War II broke out in 1939. The Taylor family moved to the United States, settling in Los Angeles, California, where they had close ties to Hollywood from an early age. Elizabeth's mother instilled in her a desire to pursue the acting career she herself had left behind. Elizabeth had a peaceful childhood in an upper-class family, where she was raised with love and educated according to the strict standards of high society. However, life in England did not last long. With her remarkable violet eyes, Elizabeth was a child known for her unique beauty, attracting the attention of numerous directors and film producers. Shortly after arriving in the U.S., the Taylor family swiftly seized opportunities in Hollywood, and Elizabeth's mother, who had experience in the entertainment industry, recognized this and encouraged her to pursue acting. She was an ambitious mother who wanted to make her own dreams come true through her daughter. Elizabeth signed a contract with Universal Pictures in 1941 and starred in her first lead role in the film, Born Every Minute, in 1942, when she was just 10 years old. However, her career at Universal did not last long, as the studio decided to terminate her contract after just 1 year. In 1944, Elizabeth signed with MGM Studios, which turned her into one of the most well-known child stars of the decade. Despite always looking flawless in public, Elizabeth's life behind the scenes was rather complicated because becoming a child star deprived her of the opportunity to live like a normal child. Her freedom was restricted, and Fame MGM, where she was under contract, controlled nearly every aspect of her personal life. She was cast as Velvet Brown in the film National Velvet, which is regarded as a major turning point in her career. The film was a huge success and made her a star at just 12 years old. Follow a rigorous work schedule that left little time for her to enjoy her childhood. In addition, Elizabeth was under a lot of pressure from a young age to live up to public expectations and fame. Film studios, particularly MGM, often required their child stars to take medication to keep them awake during lengthy filming sessions and to help them fall asleep when needed. This set the stage for Elizabeth's later health and substance abuse issues. Successful career. A significant turning point occurred in 1951 with the film A Place in the Sun. The role of Angela Vickers not only helped Taylor shed her image as a child star, but also demonstrated that she was an actress with deep psychological insight. The film received critical acclaim, and Elizabeth Taylor soon became one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. In the years that followed, she continued to demonstrate her versatility with a number of well-known films, including Giant 1956, Ree County 1957, and most notably, Sea on a Hot Tin Roof. The 1960s saw the height of Elizabeth Taylor's career with her role as Cleopatra in the 1963 film Cleopatra, which launched her to global stardom and made her the highest-paid actress in the world at the time, earning $1 million, a figure never seen in Hollywood. This film earned Taylor her first Oscar nomination and positioned her among the top actresses of the era. Her role as Maggie and Kat on a Hot Tin Roof clearly demonstrated Taylor's ability to portray deep emotional complexity, as she embodied a character full of tragedy and longing. Even though the movie had many production issues and was regarded as a box office failure, Cleopatra is still one of Taylor's most famous works. She portrayed a Cleopatra who was strong, seductive, and witty, captivating audiences all over the world. Her role in Cleopatra was not only a career high point, but it also marked the fateful meeting between Taylor and Richard Burton, one of her most well-known husbands. Their relationship garnered a lot of public attention, and they went on to become Hollywood's most powerful couple of the era. The two starred together in numerous films, but most famously in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, 1966, which earned Elizabeth Taylor her second Academy Award for Best Actress. Taylor's performance as Martha in the film demonstrated her strength and maturity, as she portrayed a bitter, wounded, and conflicted woman. This role also marked a significant change in Taylor's acting style, as she began to focus more on her ability to portray complex internal emotions in the years that followed, rather than relying on her beauty. Each stage of Elizabeth Taylor's career reflected the transformation of a child star into a global icon. From her iconic films to the prestigious awards she received, Taylor continued to take on a lot of film projects, but her career started to slow down. Although she no longer maintained the same level of prominence as she did in the 1950s and 1960s, Taylor remained an irreplaceable icon of the silver screen. She was not just an actress with memorable roles, but also a resilient woman who faced personal and professional challenges head-on. Over the course of her more than 60 years in the film industry, Elizabeth Taylor transformed from a child star to a worldwide icon. She overcame every obstacle and kept improving, becoming one of the greatest actresses of all time. Her career is a testament to her talent, determination, and perseverance, making her a legend who will always hold a special place in the hearts of the public and in the annals of cinema. In addition to her legendary status as a film icon, Elizabeth Taylor was also well known for her turbulent personal life. With 8 marriages to 7 different men, Taylor's personal life, from the highs and lows of love to the headline-grabbing scandals, kept her at the forefront of public attention for decades. Her first marriage, to Conrad Nicky Hilton, heir to the Hilton Hotel empire, began when she was 18 years old. Their 1950 wedding was a lavish affair arranged by MGM as part of the promotion for the movie Father of. The bride, in which Taylor starred, appeared to be a fairy tale, with her radiant beauty and acting talent matched by a man of upper-class status. However, the marriage soon turned into a nightmare because Hilton was an alcoholic and frequently violent toward Taylor. She later acknowledged that even during their honeymoon, she sensed the breakdown of their relationship, and within months, love turned to misery. After just 9 months, the marriage ended in divorce, which was Taylor's first painful lesson in love, and the start of less than a year after her divorce from Nicky Hilton. Taylor remarried to British actor Michael Wilding, who was 20 years her senior. Wilding's calm and gentle manner gave Taylor a sense of security following the violence of her first marriage. The couple had 2 sons together, Michael Jr. and Christopher, and their life was comparatively peaceful for a few years. But as Taylor's fame continued to Taylor's third marriage to film producer Mike Todd in 1957 marked the end of a rare period of calm in her love life. Although Wilding loved his wife, he eventually felt overshadowed by her rising fame. Although their relationship didn't experience the dramatic conflicts of Taylor's previous marriages, it couldn't last. Todd wasn't just a man who brought Taylor intense feelings of love. He was the greatest love of her life, according to Taylor, and they had a daughter named Liza. Their happiness as the wife of such a strong and passionate man was short-lived, though, as tragedy struck in 1958 when Todd died in a plane crash, leaving Taylor devastated and alone. Todd's death was a devastating blow, and it signaled the start of one of the biggest scandals in Taylor's life. Following Mike Todd's death, Taylor started dating Eddie Pfizer, who was Todd's close friend and the husband of actress Debbie Reynolds' affair with Fisher swiftly became a public scandal when Fisher left Reynolds for Taylor. The couple married in 1959, but their relationship was not happy, even though Fisher supported Taylor during her grief over Todd's passing. Their relationship lacked true harmony, and Taylor turned to for more out of loneliness and loss than out of genuine love when Richard Burton entered her life. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton's romance, which started during the filming of During Their 10 Years Together. They starred in several well-known films, including Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which earned Taylor her second Academy Award for Best Actress. However, their life together was far from tranquil. Their relationship was based on intense passion marked not only by love, but also by constant arguments and conflict. Cleopatra became one of the most well-known and contentious love stories in Hollywood history in 1963. That was both fiery and turbulent. They divorced in 1974 and then remarried a year later. But their second marriage was equally short-lived, as they divorced again just 9 months after leaving Richard Burton. Taylor entered her 6th marriage with Senator John Warner in 1976, leaving Hollywood to become the wife of a politician living on Warner's farm in Virginia. However, the quiet, remote life away from the spotlight in Hollywood left Taylor feeling disoriented and alone, which caused her to suffer from depression after 6 years. Taylor's final marriage was to Larry Ferenczi, a construction worker she met at the Betty Ford Rehabilitation Center in 1988. It was a more modest relationship without the glamour and fiery passion of her previous romances. But he brought Taylor a sense of peace. He was neither a famous nor a powerful man. Taylor divorced in 1982, making this one of the most difficult times in her life. She also struggled with health and emotional issues. At Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, and despite their brief marriage, Taylor and Ferenczi remained friendly even after their 1996 divorce. Elizabeth Taylor had a number of turbulent and painful marriages, but she never gave up on finding true love. Each marriage, no matter how long or short, was a part of her life's colorful journey. Taylor's relationships and marriages demonstrated the intricacies of love and life in the glamorous world of. The health of Elizabeth Taylor was a major part of her turbulent life, especially in her later years when she was continuously afflicted by pain and illness. Her wildly successful film career and complicated love life could not overshadow the physical and emotional pain she endured from a young age. Despite this, Taylor continued to assert herself as a strong woman in Hollywood, both on screen and in her personal life. Persistently persevered to maintain a successful career and a passionate life. As a teenager, Elizabeth Taylor was involved in a serious accident while filming National Velvet. During a horseback riding scene, she fell hard onto the horse's back, causing an injury that would follow her for the rest of her life. The back pain from this accident was the start of a string of health issues that required numerous surgeries, ranging from orthopedic procedures to more serious internal medical issues. Admitted that the ongoing back pain was a torment she had to endure her entire life. In addition to her back issues, Taylor battled a number of other illnesses throughout her life. In 1961, she had a particularly severe case of pneumonia that required a tracheotomy to save her life. This event shocked Taylor and her fans as pictures of her with a long scar on her neck appeared in newspapers all over the world. It was one of the times when the public realized that despite her strong and glamorous exterior, Taylor was still a vulnerable person. Taylor battled addiction throughout her life in addition to her health issues. Following the death of her third husband, Mike Todd, in a plane crash, Taylor fell into a spiral of grief and depression. To deal with the emotional pain, she started taking painkillers and tranquilizers, which eventually became a part of her everyday life and eventually turned into a habit she found difficult to break. Taylor once acknowledged that she relied on medication to continue working, and to overcome the Taylor acknowledged that her addiction to alcohol and painkillers had numbed both her body and mind, leaving her unable to control herself. This habit grew worse during her marriage to Richard Burton, who was both known for their wild lifestyles and heavy drinking. The two were not only involved in heated arguments, but also became deeply entrenched in alcoholism. They drank to escape the pressures of life and the intense passion between them. Peak in the 1980s when her health started to deteriorate significantly. In 1983, Taylor made the courageous decision to confront her addiction by enrolling in the Betty Ford Center, becoming one of the first celebrities to publicly acknowledge their struggle with addiction and seek treatment. At a time when admitting to addiction was still highly stigmatized by society, Taylor returned to her work and life after successfully completing treatment. But she soon relapsed and had to return to Betty Ford for her second round of treatment in 1988. In addition to struggling with an addiction, Elizabeth Taylor underwent over 30 surgeries, including hip replacements and treatments for heart and lung problems. In 2004, she was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, a serious condition that prevented her heart from pumping blood effectively. This illness gradually weakened her health, confining her to a wheelchair and limiting her public appearances. On March 23, 2011, Elizabeth Taylor died of heart failure at the age of 79 in the arms of her loved ones at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. Taylor had been hospitalized 6 weeks prior to her death due to heart-related problems, and despite the doctor's best efforts, her health was no longer strong enough to survive this final battle. Her death left a deep sense of sorrow, not only among her family and friends, but also among fans worldwide. The image of Elizabeth Taylor as a glamorous, talented, and strong woman had Elizabeth Taylor's funeral took place at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California, the final resting place of many other Hollywood stars. In true Taylor fashion, with her signature strength and humor, she requested that her funeral begin 15 minutes late as her final act of tardiness. Her passing marked the end of a glorious era in the history of film and popular culture. But the legacy she left behind will endure forever. Elizabeth Taylor had a deep love for jewelry, one of the most dazzling aspects of her life. She owned one of the largest and most valuable personal jewelry collections in the world, which included diamonds, pearls, rubies, and emeralds from all over the world. These jewels were not only symbols of wealth and status, but also represented love stories, romantic gifts, and emotionally charged moments in her life. The event was private and only attended by family and close friends, but the love and admiration for her spread throughout the world. The Taylor Burton diamond was one of the most well-known items in Elizabeth Taylor's collection. In 1969, Richard Burton paid a record-breaking amount of money to Cartier for the 69.42-carat pear-shaped diamond, which was originally set as a ring. Taylor found it too long to wear every day, so she had it resized into a necklace. Taylor wore the Taylor Burton diamond to numerous important events, making it a famous symbol that would always be associated with her. The La Paragina pearl, which was discovered in Panama in 1513 and passed through numerous royal hands before reaching Elizabeth Taylor, is a huge pear-shaped pearl that dates back to the 16th century and was given to Taylor by Richard Burton as a Valentine's Day gift in 1969. Taylor had it set into a Cartier-designed necklace with diamonds and rubies. In addition to the Taylor Burton diamond, Richard Burton also gave Taylor another renowned piece of jewelry, the La Paragina necklace, and illustrious history, and its association with Taylor established a unique bond between her and the royalty of the past. It is also necessary to mention men. In 1957, Elizabeth Taylor's third husband, Mike Todd, gave her a diamond tiara, which she wore on numerous significant occasions, such as the Cannes Film Festival. The tiara was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a symbol of Todd's intense love for her. In addition to the gifts she received, Elizabeth Taylor also personally invested in rare gemstones and exquisite jewelry after Todd Trail died in a plane crash in 1958. She owned numerous pieces from some of the most prestigious brands in the world, including Cartier, Bulgari, and Van Lille and Arpels. One of her favorite sets was the Emerald and Diamond collection from Bulgari, which Richard Burton gave her while Cleopatra was being filmed in Italy. Love of emeralds and possessed an exquisite collection of jewelry, including rings, necklaces, and earrings from Bulgari. In a light-hearted comment, Burton once made fun of the fact that Taylor only knew the Italian word for the brand, which was accurate. Elizabeth Taylor loved the sparkle of jewels, but she also saw them as sentimental mementos. Her charm bracelet was one of the best examples of this. It contained tiny charms, each of which represented a significant life event. Some of the charms were engraved with, in addition to being an exceptional actress and a symbol of Hollywood glitz. Elizabeth Taylor was also a woman with a compassionate heart committed to helping those less fortunate than herself. Her jewelry was not just lifeless objects, it was treasures filled with memories and emotions that helped her stay connected to her loved ones and the pivotal moments of her life. Taylor's journey into philanthropy began powerfully in the 1980s when the AIDS epidemic erupted and became a global crisis. At the time, AIDS was still widely misunderstood and heavily stigmatized, with many of those infected being shunned by society. This stigma and lack of awareness inspired Taylor to embark on her mission to fight against the disease. Although many people remember her illustrious film career, it was her charitable work that truly created an enduring legacy. A turning point in her resolve occurred in 1985 when she became one of the first celebrities to publicly discuss the illness and advocate for both financial support and social awareness. In 1985, Taylor co-founded the American Foundation for AIDS Research AMFAR, an organization whose main objective is to fund research and raise awareness about AIDS. Taylor's involvement with AMFAR generated widespread attention and helped the organization attract significant donations from philanthropists worldwide. In 1991, Taylor established the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, a nonprofit organization devoted to providing care, support, and education for individuals living with HIV/AIDS (ETF became one of the greatest humanitarian legacies Taylor left behind. In addition to fundraising, she used her fame and influence to participate in public education campaigns about AIDS, dispelling the myths and stigma surrounding the disease. She regularly appeared on television, organized events, and urged the U.S. government to take stronger measures in addressing the epidemic. As the foundation's founder, she also actively participated in managing the organization and planning its fundraising events. She helped raise millions of dollars for AIDS research and supported AIDS patients worldwide, demonstrating that philanthropy was not only her duty, but her life's purpose. Elizabeth Taylor received multiple awards and recognition from the international community for her efforts to combat AIDS, including the Gene Hero Humanitarian Award in 1992. Elizabeth Taylor's legacy is not only her famous films or her tumultuous marriages, but also her bravery, compassion, and unwavering determination in her philanthropic work. She transformed her personal pain and suffering and received the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences' most prestigious honors for her enormous charitable contributions. She was also honored by numerous organizations and nations worldwide for her tireless efforts to raise awareness and advocate for the rights of those living with HIV/AIDS. Challenges into a motivating force to help others, especially in the fight against AIDS. Her charitable career and unwavering efforts to raise awareness and support for those living with HIV/AIDS will always be an important part of the legacy she left behind. Elizabeth Taylor was not only a shining star on the silver screen, but also a symbol of strength and humanitarianism. Her death marked the end of an era, but her spirit and influence will live on in people's hearts. Thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any more fascinating stuff. Leave a comment and share your opinions, and I'll see you in the next video. Of those who loved her and in the generations to come.